Holy shit. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to the Daily Review, episode number 343, and the film I'm going to be reviewing for you guys today is Rec 2. Rec 2 is directed by Jaume Balaguero and Paco Plaza, who are the two guys who directed the first Rec. And Rec 2 picks right up where the first one left off. Where we left off in the first one, super minor spoilers to the first Rec. Our heroine is dragged into the darkness via a night vision camera, seeing her going away. And it picks up outside with this kind of police force SWAT team that's going to go inside this quarantine building. And they're going to get to the bottom of what's going on, find out what the heck is going on in this building, and kind of an all-out, balls-to-the-wall horror movie ensues. I think Rec 2, and this is going to be a very bold statement, is not only one of the best horror movies that I've seen in the last 5 to 10 years, it's probably one of the best horror movies that I have ever seen. It's a bold statement, I know, kids. It gets so many things right, and I'm going to try my best to not sound incredibly incoherent in this review because it's incredibly difficult for me to describe this film without giving away spoilers. But one of the things that I absolutely love about Rec 2 is that the story's completion and the way that it all comes together by the end of this film is incredibly masterful to me. And I think one of the big fears or concerns that anybody has with the sequel, be it horror or superhero or that sort of thing, it's that the first one really sets up kind of the mythology of it all. And I mean, you see Spider-Man, the first one, and they're setting up who is Peter Parker, how he becomes Spider-Man, that sort of thing. And it's like, well, once he already becomes the hero, it's not necessarily as interesting anymore. And that was my big fear going into Rec 2, that they've already set up, you know, these people come into a building, what's going on in this building, I'm hearing screams and noises, and you finally see what these things are in the building, and my fear is that once you know what it is, it's like, how is that going to be scary anymore? But it succeeds thoroughly in Rec 2, and I think one of the main strengths of the film is that the film is told entirely from the point of view of the SWAT team initially. They have cameras on their helmets, a handheld camcorder that they're taking with them. They're going into rooms that you're familiar with from the first one, and you know that along the way they encounter other people, and the story kind of takes a weird sort of detour at first that set me back for a second, where they go back and they show the people, other people that entered the building from their point of view, and the way that these two stories converge is beyond masterful to me, and the way that it's executed, and the way that you know certain events that are going to happen and you're just waiting for them to happen. You have previous knowledge of things that are going on in rooms that these newcomers don't know about, which makes things even more terrifying. I also think Rec 2 is thoroughly successful at being downright scary. It's literally 84 minutes of adrenaline-fueled horror. And I think some of the scares do come from jump scares of these little creatures popping out at you and things like that. But I think the real horror of it comes from the story, which I'm not going to give away because there's so many details to this film that I'd prefer to be a surprise to people. But I think that stuff is almost even scarier in itself, and the way that all the stuff kind of comes together throughout the film. I think the ending is absolutely terrifying. I absolutely loved the way this film ends. I really don't want to say too much about it other than it's literally one of the few movies that really terrified me. I walked out of the theater, chills, hair standing on end, and a movie hasn't done that for me for a while. I mean, last year people went crazy over Paranormal Activity, which I think is a good movie, and I think that Paranormal Activity is scary in parts, but I don't think I thought about Paranormal Activity nearly that much as I'm probably going to be thinking about this one and all the different things that it accomplishes. I give Rec 2 a very surprising, I know, you and me, both surprised, 5 out of 5. It's one hell of a ride. If it's playing near you, please check it out. I think it's playing in LA for a few more days. It might get expanded, I don't know. But check it out if it comes near you. Anyway, thank you guys very much for watching, and I will be back tomorrow for another review.